Hey everyone, my name is Pritam and you're watching Tech with Pri. Welcome to my channel and I'm back with another exciting technical video. And this is the ninth video of our newly created technical series, ServiceNow Developer. So in my last video, we have understood one of the most, very common and very useful API, client-side API of ServiceNow, which is the glide user. And I've shown you that what are the different properties and different methods are available of glide user and how you can use it inside of your personal developer instance. So we have learned different methods like has role exactly, has roles. So how these are different. It was very, very important one, right? So if you missed that video, don't worry, I'm going to put the link in the description and also you can find the link here on your screen, right? So let's see what we're going to learn from today's video. Okay, so first we will see how to access server data from client. What are the different ways? And this is gonna be very, very important, guys. Not only this video, but in upcoming videos also, I will cover, other ways to access the server data from the client. And this would be very, very, very important. And trust me, you are gonna need it while working as a ServiceNow developer, right? And also to clear your understanding, not only I will just discuss with it, but like that I always love to share things with the example. So we will do different use cases while explaining you the different way to access server data from the client, right? So in today's video, we will learn one of the way, and at the end of the video, I'll show you two use cases where practically it is being used. And trust me, if you practice it with the same time in the PDI or practice it with different scenario, then you will have a good understanding of the topic and also you will become confident while working as a ServiceNow developer because you're going to deal with these things a lot while working for your client. Make sure you watch the full video and definitely if you have any confusion, you can ask me in the comment section, right? So first we will see what are the different ways to access server data from client. Next, we will see the topic of today's class, that is the G underscore scratchpad. So we will see that why we use G underscore scratchpad, how it works, how you can declare it, and how useful it is. So there are some drawbacks of G underscore scratchpad, and that also I'm going to discuss with you. And last, finally, very interesting, two use cases of G underscore scratchpad. And trust me, the second one will be some advanced one, but we will solve it together. Okay, so let's start the class. Okay, so accessing server data from client. So what do I mean by that actually? So let's give you an example. So suppose in the incident form, we know that we have a field called caller ID, which is a caller field as a label. And there it actually shows the sysid. It's a reference field, right? So it stores the sysid of the record from the user table. So suppose you choose able tutor. So you're able to see the able tutor in the caller field, but you know that in the backend it stores this SID of the record from the user table, right? So that means it is accessing a data from other table, and that's why it's a reference field, right? So now, for an example, if I need to access the email of the able tutor, so I need to access the email of the able tutor. Maybe I want to display the email in the form. Maybe I have a field called location or email. So when I change the color, automatically the value from those field gets changed. To solve this kind of scenario, you are going to need to have the access to the server data, right? Because if you are doing it client script without the server data, then you won't get the email address of the user. So the email ID of the user is not stored in the incident table as well as the location. So you need to get this information from the user table. So you need to get the data from the server, right? So that's what we will learn. And trust me, again, I'm telling this is going to be very, very important because you are going to use this a lot while working for your client. Okay, so let's see what are the different ways to access server data from client. So first way is the G underscore scratchpad that we are going to learn today. And next we have the get reference. So this is the same like when we discuss about the glide form. So I told you that there is a method called g underscore form dot get reference. So this is the same method. I didn't explain you that time because I want to make it a separate video. So in the next video, we will understand each and everything about the get reference method and also about this callback function, which is very, very important. And because of this callback function, it becomes asynchronous. And we will discuss what is synchronous, asynchronous, and how it works, each and everything in the next video while explaining get reference. Okay. And the final one is the glide Ajax. So this is recommended by ServiceNow. So again, this is very, very powerful. And so again, I will discuss all of these things in separate videos. So we will start today about the G underscore scratchpad. So let's see how with the help of G underscore scratchpad, we can access server data from client. Okay, so G underscore scratchpad. So it is an object that passes information from server to client. Okay, this is an object. you need to create G underscore scratchpad properties to hold the information. So that we are going to do while dealing with the use cases, right? And I'll show you how you can do it. Also, to use G underscore scratchpad, you need to create a display business rule. And inside of that, you will declare the properties of G underscore scratchpad. Again, I will explain it, don't worry. Then finally, you can call the G underscore scratchpad property from the client side scripting. And we're going to do it from client script. And very important point, it only shows the information when the form is loaded. That means that if you need server data to change the some fields value dynamically, okay, so for an example, like you are changing the caller, the email field, the email and location field gets updated, so kind of dynamically it is happening. So that is not possible with the G underscore scratchpad. In that case, we are going to use some different ways, like I said, because G underscore scratchpad only works when the form is loaded. Okay, so we are going to use it in the onload client script. So it doesn't work with the dynamic one. So that's kind of a drawback of this. Okay, so it should only be used when you should not expect the data to be changed, right? So if the data is not changing, if it is working in a form load, then absolutely you can use G underscore scratchpad without an issue, right? Now for dynamic one, from the asynchronous one, again, we have different ways, right, to access server data. So that we will discuss in the upcoming videos. All right. So this is all about the underscore scratchpad. Now I know you're excited to go into the PDI and practice the same. So we will deal with the first use case. When the incident form loads, it displays the caller's email ID in the form. So what I want when the incident form is loaded, I want to see the email ID of the caller, whoever the caller is, the email ID should be displayed in the form. Okay. So how to do that? Let's see. All right, so I'm in my personal developer instance, and so quickly I'm going to show you what we are actually trying to do. So incident dot list, let's open any incident, and so what would happen is that whenever we'll open any incident or we'll just reload the form, so it will show the email ID of the caller. So right now it's Abel Tutor in the caller field. So the email ID of Abel Tutor is abel.tutor@example.com. So this is a default email ID. So this will display in the form. So we understand that to display it in the form, we need to use the client script, right? But at the same time, we need to have the user's email ID, which is not present inside of this table, right? So that's why we are going to need to use G underscore scratchpad. And like I said, G underscore scratchpad works in the display business rule, right? So first we need to create a business rule. So again, what is business rule and how you can create business rule, all this basic understanding videos are there in my channel. So you can go and clear the concept. So let me go to the business rules table. And from here, I'm going to create a new business rule. And also just to tell you that, so whenever you are doing any experiment in your PDI, if you're following my video doing that, or you are doing other stuff, so just a tip that please, once you're done with a particular client script, then make it, make the active as false so that your instance doesn't get slow. So if you have so many client script and business rule, so while opening a form, it would create problem. I mean, it will become slow. So I'm gonna name this as get email, and I'm gonna apply it to the incident table. So it's same like you configure business rule. So nothing as of now I have done special. So I'm creating advanced, and here I will choose the display business rule. Okay, and there's no condition. So I'll directly go to the advanced step where I need to write code. So here, how you're going to declare the G underscore scratchpad object, right? So simply I'm going to write G underscore scratchpad, okay, and then dot. Now we need to give a name of the property. Okay, so it can be anything. Maybe stored email. That's the name of the property. So in this property, what I'm going to store is the email ID of the current caller. Now, how I'm going to access the current caller? And you know that in business rule, we can use the current and the previous value. Now, if I write current dot caller ID, so that means, so whenever I will open an incident record, so then the value of the caller ID would store in the current.caller ID. Okay. So actually it's a sys but we need to access the email. So we know that with the help of reference field, we can do the dot working to get the field value from the other table, right? So here from the caller, I need the email ID of the caller. That's it. I need the email ID of the caller. Okay, that's all. And this value, this email ID of the caller will be stored under the store email. Okay, so just save it. This is done, very simple. Okay, so that's our business rule which is ready. So right now we are storing the value email in the g underscore scratchpad dot store email property. So I'll just copy it so that I can use it in the client script. So next I'm gonna open the client script table. Here is the client script table, and you can see the previous one I was working as test, so I make it active as false. So I'm gonna create a new one this time, and I will name it as maybe user details. User details. Okay, table will be incident, Incident table, UI type, like let's make it all, and it will be on load, right? And here, very simply, what I'm going to write is that g underscore from dot add info message, because I want to display the message in the form. And here, what I'm going to do is that the email ID of the caller is simply I'll paste it, because this property is storing the email ID of the current login user, right? That's what we configured in the display business rule. That's it. I'll make a semicolon and then I'm going to save this. Let's go to our incident form here. So I'll simply try to reload the form. Okay, so it didn't show anything. So maybe I did something wrong. So this is the display business rule. Oh, okay. I made a mistake in spelling. Make sure this is very important. Scratch pad. Okay, now it's good. Okay, and also I just copied this one, so in the client script also I need to change it. All right, I'll save it. Now everything looks fine. So I will again come to the incident form and reload it. And you see the email ID of the caller is abel.tutor@example.com. So now we are able to get the email address of the user using the g underscore scratchpad. So we are accessing other tables information, the server data from the client. So this is the client one, right? Client script that we use. All right, use case number 2. So when you create a problem task from a problem record, then it would automatically load short description assigned to field value from the problem record. Okay, so let's clear it out by going in the problem table. Okay, I'll maybe make it as inactive. So this is a good habit. Definitely in personal developer instance, not in your production environment. So I will go to the problem table quickly. Let's open any problem request, so which is not closed. So unable to connect to Wi-Fi, maybe this one. So in a problem table, you know that we can create different problem tasks. So if I scroll down here, so we have a problem task here. So if I click on new, then it will give me options. So maybe general, and you can see automatically the problem number is being populated because this is under the same problem. I mean, we are creating the problem task under this problem number. Okay, so it is already there. But what we want is that whenever we'll create a problem task from an existing problem record, so the short description would fill up automatically from the problem record, and also the assign to field and the description field. All this field will automatically fill up, which is not happening right now, right? So that's the requirement. So what we need to do, again, we need to use the g underscore scratchpad. So first we need to get the value from this record. So this is the problem task record, you can see, right? So we need to get the information of this problem record. Then only we can put the value here in the short description and assign to. First we need what is the value of all those fields in the problem record, and that we need to store it in the g underscore scratchpad, and then we will call it in the client script. Okay, so first, you understand, I need to create a business rule, display business rule, so that I can get all the information for the problem record. I'll open business rule, and here I'm going to click new. So I'm going to name it get problem details. Okay, and I'm going to use the problem table. Now here, I'm not going to use the problem table. I need to use the problem task table, right? So if I show you, you can see this is the problem task table, problem underscore task. So I will type problem task. Okay, this is the table. Now advance, and we can choose display. Now we need to put a filter condition here, but before that, I want to write the script. So let's understand this very carefully. So first, we need to access the problem record, details of the problem record, and which is stored in the server side, right? So first we need to do the simple glide. We are going to do gr equal to new glide record. Okay, simple. And here I am going to put the problem. This is the table name. Okay. Now I'm going to apply one of the important method of the glide record that I have told you or explained you in my glide record video. Okay. So that is the get method. We are going to query on the problem table. The field name is problem and which is in the problem task table, right? So with the help of current, I can directly access this value. So what I can do is that, so I'm going to write gr.get, and you know get method accepts one parameter or two parameter. If it's a one parameter, then it has to be the sysid, right? And we can get the sysid simply by writing current dot problem. Okay. So if I go here, you can see this is the field name problem and this is a reference field. So if I type current dot problem, that means it stores the sysid of whatever problem number it's mentioned here. Okay, so current dot problem, I am getting the sysid. Then you know that I can access different fields of it because I already got the access of this sysid of the record. Now we need the details of those fields. So g underscore scratchpad. So first information that I'm going to store, first I'll store the problem sysid, the sysid of the problem record. So here I'm going to write current dot problem because you know that current dot problem will give the sysid. I already explained you. Right, then g underscore scratchpad dot short description. Okay, and then it would be gr dot short description. So now I'm accessing field value from the problem record. All right, next I'll just copy it. It's quite long to write. So again, this time I will give description. So it will take gr dot description and assign to. Okay, again I'll paste and I'll make it assign to. Yeah, that's it. So I'm storing all this value in the g underscore scratchpad. Now I want this business rule should only run in the problem task table whenever there is a problem record exist. So that means the field name is problem is not empty. That's it. What I'm going to do is that I need to write a client script. So I'll say display info, fine. I'll choose problem task table because this is a table where we need to display the record. Okay, I'll choose all, type on load definitely. Now here I need to do one thing. So I'll go here. Already I stored the sysid of the problem in this variable. Again, I need to check in the client script. So I'm going to type if g underscore scratchpad dot parent, if that is exist. So if record is present again, then I need to print this. So I need to set the value of the problem task table. So I'm going to write g underscore form dot set value. That's the method. Again, I have used it before also to show you. So set value of the short description would be same as short description, g underscore scratchpad short description. Okay, assign to is only remaining. So assign to field and the value would be g underscore scratchpad dot assign to. That's it. Let's see if it works or not. So done. So our display business rule and client script is ready. So for testing, I will open the problem record again. Okay, I will open any of this, maybe this one, unable to connect to the VPN. Okay, so you can see we have short description and description. So if I'm gonna create a problem new task, let's see. Let's choose general. So why it did not work? So again, let's go back here. Oh, again, please kill me. I have to write scratchpad spelling 100 times maybe to make it correct. Actually, on the top, I make it correct, but for the rest, I make it false. So I'll save it here. And also I need to change it in the client script. So here, all right, so I'll save it and this time it should work. So let's open this time maybe another one, maybe this one unknown source SAP outage. So let's see that. Yes, we have description, short description, and also the assign to is there. All right, so I'm gonna create already a problem task is created. That's fine. We are gonna create a new one. I'll make general, anyone you can choose. And now you can see automatically in the short description, it is filled. from the parent. So I will open the problem record also so that you can see it. So you can see same unknown source of SAP outage. It is also pasted, same description and assigned to is problem manager. So you can see with the help of display business rule, we can do this kind of thing, which is very, very powerful. I'm pretty sure now the concept of G underscore scratchpad is pretty clear to all of you. I request you to practice in the PDI. If you are facing any problem, then let me know in the comment section. So in the next video, we are going to learn another way to access the server data. So if you find this video helpful, hit the like button. And again, for any doubt, ask me in the comment and don't forget to share with your friends and families so that it can reach out to many people. Don't forget to follow me on the Instagram to get the tech update. Also some tech reels related to ServiceNow and other stuff that I have planned to do it very soon, right? So make sure you follow that. Okay, see you in my next video. Bye bye. Take care.